Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Life in the Arctic. Today we're gonna learn all about polar bears and their incredible swimming abilities. As the largest land carnivore in the world, polar bears are extremely well adapted for life in the frigid Arctic waters. They really are amazing swimmers. Let's start with the basics. Can polar bears swim? The simple answer is yes, absolutely. Polar bears are actually considered marine mammals because they spend so much time in the ocean. Swimming is second nature to them. Their webbed paws and streamlined bodies make them very powerfully efficient swimmers. In fact, swimming is one of their main modes of transport, especially during the summer months when the sea ice melts. Being able to swim is crucial for polar bears' survival. Much of their hunting is done in the water, chasing down seals amongst the floating ice. They'll even swim long distances between ice floes in search of food. The furthest recorded swim was by a male polar bear that covered an incredible 220 miles non-stop. Can you imagine swimming that far? He must have been very determined. When polar bears swim, they use a technique similar to a doggy paddle. Their front paws do the main work of propelling them through the water, while their back paws steer like a rudder. It's actually a very efficient stroke. On average, polar bears cruise at around 6 miles per hour in the water. That's faster than most humans can swim. The speed record is held by one male who was tracked swimming at 10 kilometers per hour, which is over 6 miles per hour. Pretty impressive for an animal that weighs up to 1,500 pounds. Their thick layer of blubber plays a key role in buoyancy and insulation while swimming in near-freezing waters. The blubber can be up to 11 centimeters thick, roughly 4 to 5 inches. Not only does it help polar bears float, but it acts like a wetsuit to keep their bodies warm. Their fur is actually hollow and traps warm air close to the skin. Together with the blubber, polar bears stay toasty even when submerged for long periods. Speaking of long periods, just how long can polar bears hold their breath underwater? Diving ability is another incredible swimming trait. On average, polar bears can stay submerged for around 1 minute before surfacing to breathe. However, the longest recorded dive was a whopping 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Scientists aren't entirely sure how deep they go, but estimates place routine dives at around 20 feet below the surface. Polar bears have excellent lung capacity and high stroke efficiency to stay submerged so long in search of prey on the seafloor. It's not just survival abilities that make polar bears such impressive swimmers either. Their long, streamlined bodies, small flippers, and narrow tails also contribute to low drag in the water. This hydrodynamic shape allows them to efficiently glide through the icy seas. Interestingly, polar bears are one of the few bear species where males are typically larger than females. The extra size and muscle mass helps male polar bears outcompete others during swimming challenges like long-distance journeys. Speaking of challenges, swimming in Arctic waters presents some unique difficulties due to fluctuating ice conditions. As summer arrives and temperatures rise ever so slightly above freezing, melting ice transforms the world of the polar bear. Large expanses of open water emerge where thick sea ice used to be. This means polar bears have to swim much farther between hunting opportunities on any remaining ice floes or coastal areas. It really tests their endurance and navigational skills. Some bears have been tracked swimming continuously for multiple days to reach food sources as climate change impacts shrink available habitat. Their incredible swimming prowess truly shines during these longer journeys against ocean currents. Where other bears might fail, polar bears adapt through both physical ability and intelligence to locate more hospitable environments farther afield. This wandering lifestyle, when sea ice declines, highlights yet another way swimming is the polar bear's saving grace. Witnessing polar bears in their natural Arctic habitat can be a once-in-a-lifetime experience for sure. One of the best ways to see polar bears in the water is by taking an eco-tour to places like Baffin Island in the Canadian Arctic. There you may spot opportunistic polar bears swimming or floating between ice floes as they hunt for seals. Some tour operators even offer the unique experience of swimming with rescued or captive polar bears through large protective barriers. For example, at the Canadian polar bear habitat near Churchill, Manitoba, guests can safely swim a short distance next to a polar bear in the same pool. While most won't get quite that close, boat tours around the Arctic provide amazing views of polar bears in action from a respectful distance above or beside the chilly waters. Their magnificence and athletic grace is inspiring to observe firsthand. In summary, polar bears are truly astonishing swimmers adapted superbly to life in the Arctic Ocean and coastal regions. Their extensive time spent in the water hunting, traveling, and coping with climate impacts demonstrates just how critical swimming skills are. From great distances covered to breathtaking dives lasting over 3 minutes, polar bears defy what we often think of as possible for an immense carnivore. Ultimately, their mastery of swimming abilities guarantees polar bears will remain iconic symbols of the high Arctic for generations to come, regardless of environmental changes. I hope you enjoyed learning more about polar bears and their impressive swimming prowess today. Tune in next time as we explore even more amazing adaptations that allow them to survive in one of Earth's most extreme habitats. Until then, keep your eyes open for these magnificent swimmers whenever you're near Arctic seas or shorelines. They never cease to amaze me with their strength and poise in the water. Have a great day.